All right, family. You live with the general, man. We in here popping off, man. We got some fire today. We're gonna be talking about how they had to sneak old Donald Trump out of Turkey when he went over there. I think he had a sit down with the president of Turkey, Erdogan, and man, and they had to sneak Donald Trump out of there, man, and on another plane, and they had to, uh, I think he was in a catering van or something. They said they had to sneak him out in a catering van. You know what I'm saying? I say, what? You know, this is getting bad. But when you knocking off people's leaders like that, when you knocking off people's leaders like that, and then now you got to hide in the trunk. You got to hide in the trunk now. You know, and the crazy ass shit about it, you got this plane from what's that? Who gave him that plane? Qatar. Qatar gave the man the plane. You gonna get a plane from an Arab who could be in cahoots? Man, what kind of this man is foolish, man. This man is foolish. This man got a plane from Qatar, an Arab country, not knowing they could be in cahoots with Iran and lace it with some type of bomb or something in it where they, can know where you're at and this, that, and the third. Most foolish shit he ever did in his life. Most foolish shit I mean, and people talk about Donald Trump is the best president. How? Please explain how. It ain't been no good goddamn president as far as I'm concerned, because ain't none of them ever did shit for black people. That's a fact. That's a fact right there. But this man literally had to sneak out of Turkey. They say the man was in a catering van or something. He couldn't even go in his regular limousine because they had intel. Believe they had intel that they was trying to get him, trying to knock him off. They was trying to knock him off. And so, he had to literally do some, some real wild out shit just to get out of Turkey. And so it's getting bad for this is a seriously I have not seen shit like this, coming from, the United States. And I'm not saying is this wonderful country. It has, great grievous sins, and that's for real. And that is gonna have to account for one day soon, and so, but you the greatest country on the damn planet, and you got to sneak out in a damn milk truck just to get to a plane, get on a plane, because they ready to knock the motherfucker out of the sky. They ready to knock the damn Air Force One out of the sky. This fake Air Force One that you got from goddamn Qatar, you know. And a lot of people was up in arms for the simple fact. And here it is, you know, Donald Trump, it's a wrap for you, man. Really, man. It's a wrap for you. You can't even come because this Iran thing gonna be the end. Ignorance and arrogance at the same time. That's like sprinkling sugar on shit. It just don't work. You can't do that. You fooling yourself that this is really something that's edible and it's not. You eating shit, nigga. And this is what Donald Trump is trying to serve a motherfucker, man. Making people think that he's intelligent, and you're not intelligent. I can show you all the shit that he's done that put him in a predicament. And so they trying to knock him off for real. And so right there, they don't how they want to work a deal with you. And And the thing is, this is where the public got to quit being stupid and just know that they really trying to line Donald Trump ass up because of what he done over there. He done knocked off these people's leaders that they love. A lot of people think the Iranian, people, they don't. Yeah, it's some of them that don't like the regime, but there's a lot of them that do, and they prop that regime up. They think just like the mullahs. They think just like them radical Islamized Iranians, and they support that regime. And when they saw their leaders being knocked off like that, they wanted revenge. And a lot of them do not want they do not want the government of Iran to work no deal with the United States. They don't want them to work no deal. They like fuck them, punish them, cut their ass off from the straight, cut them off, and punish them and destroy their economy, and not only destroy their economy, try to knock his ass off. Why wouldn't he? If somebody killed your peoples or did you gonna want some revenge. You're gonna want some revenge for that. You're not just gonna let a motherfucker knock your peoples off and you ain't gonna want no get back. And so that's clearly what it's about. And the crazy shit is that Donald Trump sit his ass on these news, where they come in and question it. They have question and answers and shit. And he comes in there and he sits his ass up there like so calm and collective and shit, and knowing that the tsunami is damn near 100 feet high. Black power, 100 feet high, and he's in deep shit, and nobody can get him out of it because he shouldn't have never got in it. He's in a quagmire for real. He's in a serious quagmire, and Iran talking about riding this shit out until his term is up. They talking about riding this shit out until his term is up. Do you hear what I'm saying? 2029. So think about that. Having that straight shut down. And the crazy shit, if they shut, you got them Houthis over there, and they about to shut that damn straight Bab el Manab, which is right there between Yemen and Africa. And if they shut that motherfucker down, then that automatically you gonna shut down the strait, the Suez Canal up there in Egypt. Man, you gonna shut down a lot of. It's gonna throw the whole world economy in shock. It's gonna be in shock. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to come out with the resuscitator shit. You know what I'm saying? And have to resuscitate if it could be resuscitated. Because first and foremost, you're shutting down the oil for a lot of people, and so who gonna benefit? Now you got the United States and shit, they got some oil over here and shit like that, but you got a lot of other countries. And I'm thinking to myself, Donald Trump said the United States got so much oil from Venezuela. What the fuck is going on? I believe he's making money off of that, though. I do believe he's making money off that Venezuelan oil. So he might don't give a fuck about the damn he might don't give a fuck about what's going on over in the strait, because he's selling oil up under the table with the Venezuela. I mean, what is they doing with all that oil? You feel what I'm saying? I mean, what is they doing with all that oil? Venezuela is like number one. Venezuela got major oil reserves over there. And I believe Venezuela was damn near number one, or even over all the Arab states in the Persian Gulf. Venezuela was number one. So where's all that oil going, and where is it at? And I believe he's selling a lot of that damn oil. He's selling a lot of that damn oil. But yeah, Donald Trump most definitely had to get his ass up out of Turkey because they was over there trying to knock his ass off. You know, and damn man, you already seen what happened to what's the name over there? What's his name? Khashoggi, the damn nude. What was he? He was Saudi. I believe he was a Saudi Arabian, but he was living abroad. I think he was he United States or whatever, but he be talking shit about Saudi Arabia. And man, when they no, was it? Yeah, it was Saudi, and so he went to Turkey and shit. And you know, I think he went into the embassy over there because I think he was trying to get married and shit. And he went in there to get, I guess, you know, a marriage license or whatever. And you know, and they caught his ass up over there and chopped him up and shit. You know, they couldn't even find his body, and they took his body somewhere and hid it and shit. And you know, they didn't do shit to him. You know, the Saudi Arabians, they didn't do shit. They say the prince motherfucker was responsible for that, but they didn't charge him. You know, they couldn't charge him for nothing, and so the United States said, "Fuck it." Donald Trump started fucking with him, like, "Hey, man, that's a lie." So he don't give a fuck, man. Donald Trump is, you know, really, man, he just don't give a fuck. He'll fuck with any type of slime balls and all of that. Yeah, he fucks with all type of slime balls and all of that. So, but they almost did a Khashoggi on his ass. They said they had to sneak Donald Trump out of there in a goddamn catering van. Did y'all hear that? Yeah, they he couldn't ride in his limo and shit to the plane. And then he got on a different plane. And I think they said when he got to, I think he flew to Germany or something. Then when he flew to Germany, he was able to a catering van. Yeah, the motherfucker had to get out of there in a catering van. I say, man, anytime then you supposed to be the president of the United States, supposed to be the most powerful country on the planet, Black Power. You supposed to be the most powerful country on the planet, and you ducking and hiding from motherfuckers in a milk truck. It's sad, man. What day? What a day we living in. But anyway, family, we got some more fire. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all click that link at the top of the chat. Get over to Patreon. Make sure you share this. Like the video. Number one, like the video. Share it with your family and friend. And we'll most definitely be black. We got some fire this evening. We just getting started. And I'll see y'all black here in a minute. You feel me? Black Power.